What's going on, everybody? So, remember how I told you we need to keep holding Donald Trump accountable to his so-called promises? And remember how I said he is the master of the bait and switch? Well, he said he was going to stop the Ukrainian-Russia war when he was inaugurated. That didn't happen. Then when he was inaugurated, he made a speech saying he's going to stop the war in the next 100 days. And he froze all military funding, except he kept sending weapons to Ukraine without telling anybody. Now it gets even better. Now he's telling us that he's going to make a deal with Ukraine so they give the U.S. rare earth metals and the U.S. will keep sending them money and weapons. Kind of exactly what I told you was going to happen. No end of the war, continued funding, and continued weapons because the USA loves their proxy war with Russia. They love sending weapons and money and allowing other people to fight and die for their interests. So I told you Trump was not going to stop the war. It is not in his best interest to do so because he is beholden to the military contractors and all the other people that make billions and billions of dollars off this. So there you go. Another Trump promise absolutely obliterated. Not only did he not stop the war, not only is he not going to stop the war, but he's going to do everything in his power to keep the war going and expand the war in Russia and Ukraine. Thank you very fucking much. Come on, Trump tards, let me hear how this is really 17D chess and I'm just some kind of crazy conspiracy theorist. What's going on, everybody? Well, that didn't take long. I told you all that Donald Trump might be able to threaten Canada, Mexico, Colombia, combined economies of $5 trillion with the tariff threat to get them to do what they want. But when he said he's going to do that to BRICS and declared that BRICS was dead, I said not only is this going to backfire, not only is this not going to prevent them from de-dollarizing, it's going to actually exponentially accelerate that process. And of course, Trump supporters said I was crazy. And now what? Just took 3-4 days, maybe a little bit more, from him making that ridiculous statement. So now all the BRICS nations have decided they're going to have a mega summit in Brazil, July, which is going to be talking about, you guessed it, more de-dollarization. So the more Trump tries to threaten these countries that have almost half the world's population and more combined GDP than the US, the worse it's going to be. And the idea now that he's going to abolish the income tax, which brings over $2 trillion in revenue, and replace it with tariffs, is insanity. The United States only exports $2 trillion a year. So they would have to put 100% tariff on every single product to generate that extra $2 trillion to make up for the income tax. Only problem is, do you really believe that the countries they impose those tariffs on won't impose tariffs back in the United States, who imports over $3 trillion a year? So they could end up losing more money from imposing tariffs if the countries they impose tariffs on impose the same dollar-for-dollar tariffs against the United States, or they just start shopping elsewhere instead of buying from the U.S. So for all of the bluster of Trump and his supporters pretending like the United States is this world superpower that can dictate policy to the rest of the world and they're just going to sit there and do nothing, well, you just got proved wrong yet again. And now these are two of Trump's main promises: the tariffs on the BRICS nations if they try to go against the dollar, which they're all going to do anyway, and the abolishment of the income tax, that have both been shown to be completely false and not going to happen.